What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Freestyle Blast Off podcast. I'm DJ WonderRican. My guest, we're doing the recap, Latif Mercado. Welcome back.
Yo, yo, what's up? I was just clearing my screen right now. Okay. How
All
you
right,
doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. So we just got done with the 7 day challenge a few days
Yo,
ago with issue number 53.
So
Great
let me tell you something.
article.
The blast off sounds good now.
Yeah, it's different. I even changed the background.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So, by the way, great interview with
Thank you.
Lana Sky.
Okay, thank you.
It
Thank
was
you.
really good. I see you got a lot of compliments from it.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. She's pretty interesting. They got a lot going on. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed that, and it was well deserved. I dedicated the entire issue to her, because man, she's been putting in the time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I was happy about that.
I got to get her back on the show and ask her like these past two, the 50, 53, and 52.
Yeah.
One of the artists was right behind her, but then she like pulls it off right at the end.
Oh man. Let me tell you something, man. I was talking to a promoter. I don't want to name the name because I don't want anybody calling him, but everybody knows it pretty much. And he brought up the whole um the freestyle blast off, and he brought up Lana. So we
Yeah.
were going to he was telling me, he goes, yeah, he started asking me what they charge. And I said, well, she's pretty new right now. I said, so she's open. He's a good one to get down with. I mean, you get on his shows, like
Yeah.
you kind of skip an entire level there. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And this went on yesterday. This was yesterday.
okay.
And he just brought it out of nowhere. And this is what's important, is because I want the promoters to get on. Now, the promoters get a little funny because they don't want artists calling them, asking to get on the show. But let me tell you something, man. All the big promoters watch it. They might not watch it when it comes out or get the newsletter the minute, but they all know about it. I've
Right.
had promoters, I've had artists recommend, and I'm talking about big name artists that have actually given me ideas for issues, which tells me that they're reading it. And I asked them, I said, oh, so you read it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I can't catch it when it comes out, but eventually I get around to it. He goes, I know it's only once a month. So we get a good response, and that's what I want. And I would like to get some more. I want to get to the point where I could get promoters to start commenting and leaving
Mhm.
some sort of, because that will motivate a lot of people to see that this actually works.
Right.
These promoters are watching this stuff. You know?
Yeah. You know what? You just saying that. I'm like thinking about it, brainstorming. I'll invite a promoter on the show and tell them what they're looking for. Talking about what they're looking for.
That's a good one. That's a
You
good one.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. And but let me tell you something, especially now, the whole reason why we changed the name of the freestyle blast flash 3 to the blast off, right? Is because I wanted to use this platform as a launch pad,
Right.
right? Because they only have 7 days. But let me tell you something, if they could really do what they have to do within those 7 days, and I have that guide that they could download. Not saying
Right.
it's the perfect guide, but it's a good guideline. People can add to it. But it's just in case, oh, well, I don't know what to do today. I actually break it down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or I think day one. I forgot how I have, I think it's day one, day two, and
Yeah.
so on. And I tell them it's a good way of coming in and at least getting an idea. Even if you want to take, day 3 and you want to do something different, the whole point is to do something. Let me tell you something. Do you know all my acts right now are working? They're
Mhm.
all working. We have something, a combined maybe 28 shows. Do you know who's been getting a ton of calls lately? Sharon Masirin.
Oh, that girl don't calm down. I think you got
I
to get
I
her.
get calls from her for her just about every day.
Nice.
This week alone, we booked 3 shows for her. 2 in California, 1 in Texas. Locked in, money's in, deposit, the works. And one of the reasons this is happening is her hustle.
Yeah.
It's her hustle because they tell me. without me even asking. And then we get into the conversation of it. And every time I hear stuff like that, this is what I'm trying to do. And this is what I'm trying to let the artist know. Once you put that record out, it's almost like, I kind of get it. They people, especially artists who are established, they think that they're going to put a record out and they're going to come flying. It's going to sell. Right. And if it doesn't kick off in the first couple of days, they throw their hands up and they lose interest in it. And that is the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. Okay?
Right.
You look at a company like McDonald's, major billion-dollar corporation, right? Multi-billion dollars, right? But you still see the ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Constant. They probably don't ever have to advertise anymore. They're that well known.
Right.
But the whole point is that they are advertising. Why is that? This is a big major league company. Why do they continue to promote their stuff? Right? Everybody knows. We all know that we can all pretty much recite the menu. We know the menu.
Yeah.
That's how often we've been to McDonald's, ordered, or seen these commercials. We know the menu.
Right.
Doesn't matter. They're still going to spend millions upon millions of dollars a year advertising. So what makes these artists feel as though they could put a record out and then that's it?
Right.
What is the whole intention? What's the whole point of putting the record out? Why are they putting it out? You're just putting it out to put it out? That's cool if that's your intentions.
Right.
If you're trying to make a change or you're trying to do something with the record, you got 7 days to, and I'm not saying this is your way. If you're not on the blast, you should be doing the same thing anyway.
Right.
Take the blast and use it as an example and say, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not on the blast. Well, I'm going to be here on the side doing my own shit.
Right.
You know? So, and that's the whole purpose of this thing. And if these artists could, because, you know, I was looking at the Freestyle Blast Spotify page that we have, the playlist.
Yeah.
See how many songs that we've filtered through the blast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a long list.
We've done major artists. One of the first artists was Stevie B. We've done brand new artists and everybody in between. Who haven't we done?
Right. Yeah.
Right? So what's the problem? Why is it that we have so much new music and none of those records are doing anything? Not one.
I mean, you get your occasional plays, you know, throughout, like on TikTok when the DJs are spitting, you know, and sometimes
I'm talking about a play that will it could change your career as an artist.
Right.
A change that people are booking you because of that particular record. And booking you for a premium. And where fans are already flocking. They think that they put the record out, people aren't feeling it, they're going to leave it alone.
Right.
And that's not the attitude to have. Because you saw what I wrote in the article where I wrote, we used to have radio day back in the days.
Uh-huh.
Right? That was so important. We needed to get our records on the station, and we would sit there in the lobby or in their office area with our 12 inches on our laps. And you'll see the people from all the other labels there. And they'll tell next, you know, you sign. Sometimes, I don't remember we used to sign in. I think we used to sign in, and then they used to go in the order and then have you come in. A lot of times those PDs or the MDs, they were very disrespectful. They didn't pay you no mind because the power was in their pocket.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but it was at that point, you know? So, and they knew that if they took your song and they put it, depending on the level of rotation, it can make a big change for you, for your company, and for your artists. A huge change. Why? Because when you went on a rotation, they had what they call spikes. I think they used to call them spikes. I don't remember. It's been so long. Where they didn't actually put you on the list, but every once in a while they'll play you. They also had the mix show. And the mix show was normally used to test the records. That's why a lot of times the music director was a part of that. Program directors usually took care of corporate. They took care of the sponsors, but they were still the big bosses. You still had to get certain things, you know, past them. The PDs, they wanted the big records. They wanted at that time the Michael Jackson records and the Madonna records, and they wanted those. Those are the records that they want.
Yeah.
The MDs were closer to the street, just like with the mix shows, right? So a lot of times the mix show people would deal with the music directors, and then once they get into an agreement, a lot of times they can convince the PD to put it. Sometimes they'll spike it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
See, you'll hear it once, and then next week you'll hear it again, and next time, then you get into a light rotation, and that's what you want. Once you get into a light rotation, it's going to go up or down. It's either going to be taken off of the station after a while, or it's going to go up to a medium rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to a point where it goes on heavy rotation. Those are the ones that used to annoy us. You remember that song came on every other hour, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it got to a point where it annoyed you. How would anybody want to have a record that annoys the fans? But that was the key. And that's what I was trying to tell people. They were like, oh, well, I don't want to do these lives, or I don't want to keep putting my song out there. It's going to get annoying, or I don't want to keep DMing people. But that's what the stations did.
Yeah.
And that's what the labels wanted. They wanted to annoy the people, because that's what gets people to for it to click. And it's happened to all of us.
Because sometimes you hear the song for the first time, you're like, all right. And then listen it again, then you listen it again. I say, you know what, this is a jam right here.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes you'll get a hit that boom. The first time, boom, that's the jam, you like it. But there's some, it winds up to be one of your favorite songs, because you're listening, even though if you hear it there, and then you put on the radio and you start singing to it because you know the words already.
But not only that, remember, music is an art, so it's subjective, meaning you might think something's dope, I might think it's crap, and vice versa, right? So they never know that. They don't know who's going to do what. But the only way you're going to know that is by taking a song and really, really pounding people over the head. Because I know me, when I really liked the song, you could play it every hour. I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, it's my jam. I was ready to have my tape. I was ready to record it. Volume up, right? After a while, it burns out. But that's by the time it burns out, it's time for a new song anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay? But, when we really like a song, and that's what they want the people that really like it, because those were the ones back then that would go out and buy it. And those were the ones that became major fans of these artists and would attend these concerts.
Yeah.
So all those things played a role. A certain amount of airplay will help strike up a certain amount of sales. And a certain amount of sales will make you eligible to do some of these bigger arenas, because they're not going to put you in a garden or in any of the big places if you're selling 15,000 records. Yeah. You start hitting $1 million, $500,000, $1 million and up. They're like, okay, you could do Madison Square Garden. You can do these, So it all kind of plays together. Thing is, now we got social media. It's free. And we all have this. And the playing ground has been leveled, right? We can play the same exact game that the majors play right now. But you either got to do two things. You either got to work harder than they work, or you got to put up more money. Most likely you're not going to be able to put the money up. So you got to really roll up your sleeve, and you got to go hard. And you got to get creative.
That's how Sharon Massarin is.
Yep.
Because she was on point, man, from day one when she was on the blast.
Yep.
Boom. She do those cool flyers, and then boom. But then Lana coming in and keeping up. That I think that was my favorite blast to watch.
Yeah.
Because it was like, because at one time Sharon was ahead for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And then she come like, oh man, this was tight. And didn't you say both of them didn't even sleep on the last night?
They did not sleep. You could tell because I was watching it, and you could see how the numbers were moving, and they were all legitimate votes, because we had that issue at one point, and we could tell the system could red flag illegitimate voting, which would be bad emails. Which you can spot them. And a lot of times, I'll get a red flag, but then I'll go in myself and I'll just look at a few. And all I have to do is open up a few. It's the same thing. Jibber jabber at gmail.com. Jibber jabber at yahoo.com. And I see what they're doing, But who does that really help? Can you really be proud? If you win the blast off with a bunch of jibber.coms, Are you that proud of yourself, or are you just trying to show because you're not doing anything for yourself or your song? You know?
No, that makes a lot of sense because yeah, when we had to deal with that one, it
Yeah.
was.
But I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did because
Yeah.
we didn't expect that, and we knew how to
Yeah.
handle it.
And I'm over here. I was like doing the percentage. You give me the info, and then I just work on it. I said,
Yep.
okay.
I can
Boom,
see.
this person won.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, that one was a lot of work because
Yeah.
it was like, hold on, because sometimes I figured it out wrong. I said, no, that's not right because it was just weird numbers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I just
But you
worked
know,
on it, worked
it's
on it.
important because you know even the other people playing, they don't want to feel that hey, I'm gonna bust my ass doing this, and you know somebody could just cheat. We're not gonna
Yeah,
allow, they're not. We're not gonna allow them to cheat. It's
yeah.
gonna. It will go right to the next person. That other person will think they won. What I won't do is I won't put them on blast. That the fans can figure it out because they'll
Mhm.
be like, "Oh, wait a minute, so and so was in the lead, you know, but they didn't win. What happened?
Right.
Figure it out." I don't want to put anybody on blast. I don't want to embarrass anybody, and we didn't, you
Hmm.
know. But we want to let them know that we're watching that, and we kind of expect it to happen. So don't let it be you, you know,
Right.
because it sucks to go through all that and you think you're winning just to not win and to find out it's kind of embarrassing. I'll be embarrassed,
Right.
you
So
know.
so now we're on issue 53. Um, I forgot you got Lana Sky, Charlie XO, and Marilyn Torres.
Yeah,
Interviewing Marilyn and Charlie, it was great interviews
yeah,
doing it. And
oh
then I
yeah,
just kept then during the week, I kept pushing him, yo.
yeah,
Like I don't have to tell Lana, but I did tag her every day.
yeah,
Tagged all three every day. But
yeah,
you know, because she already knew, she already had her boom. She come out like boom, like out the
yeah,
blocks first.
yeah. And what she does is she tries to stay way ahead. I guess so
Right.
she can take a nap if she needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave them way in the dust, so I could rest and kind of live my life a little bit. But they see
Yep.
things start getting a little closer now. Now Charlie, I'll tell you honestly, during the interview, right, and I spoke to Charlie about this, and you know I want to speak up on it because it's important. Charlie basically lost from the minute he started because
Mhm.
of the attitude he had, and it's I get it, I understand it. You know, it's hard, man. And then especially you're up against other good artists, it's hard to really feel that you know you'll be able to take that. But I want to be able to talk the artist into saying, "Hey, man, the first person to vote for yourself should be you.
Mhm.
Vote for yourself, and then go out there and give it all you got. Don't worry about but this one got a great record or this one's really hustling. So you do the same thing, and you can't judge the record. You can't
Right.
judge the record because again, it's subjective. People might just love your record for whatever reason. And the interview that you do will show the personality, which is
Mhm.
another reason why people will be attractive. You come on your interview and you're cocky or your attitude isn't there. You know, you can't expect people to have your back if you don't have your own back.
Yeah.
I can't invest my time or energy into you if you're not doing it for yourself. If you don't believe enough in yourself to really, really go hard, then you can't expect anybody else to want to believe in you. You already killed that, you know?
Right.
So I stayed on Charlie because I thought he had a dope track. I've seen him over the years. Um, I thought he had a lot of potential, right? And I
Mhm.
think the only thing that was lacking was his own um he was his own enemy at that point. But I stayed on him. I stayed on him and I told him, I said, listen, you know, keep pushing. I'm watching you. Marilyn had a good, and I pushed Charlie because Marilyn came out the gate pretty fast.
Yeah, she did. She
You
did.
know, so I kind of thought she was going to take this. I thought she was the one that was going to take, you know,
Yeah.
run with it, you know. So I wasn't really too worried about her. I said, okay, she's going to grab it. If I could at least bring Charlie up a little bit, even if he lost, and got him right behind Marilyn. But it seems like Marilyn just threw in the towel. She just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
And I tried to send her a message as well. Um, but you know, the whole thing is that these are good songs.
Mhm.
These are good songs. It's not like the songs suck. The songs are good songs.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
because
know?
you got to have it, and that's why before I pick the next two, I take my time. I already got one set. I already got
Okay.
one. I just got to work on the second one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
so hard. Like I watch I forgot the guy's name. He has a page, and every Friday he comes out with a new list of freestyle music, and he goes over all of them. When I remember his name, I'll probably even have him on the show just because he
Okay.
explains each detail. And then when I have time, I'll check out the songs.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know I think I've talked to you about it. There was a promoter, a producer, and I was asking him, say, I want to get one of your artists on the show. Is there a song on Spotify? He goes, no, it's on Bandcamp. Because I don't know how it works to get music on Spotify. I guess he didn't want to pay for that, and Bandcamp was easier. I said, yeah, I can't put them on the blast off if they're not on Spotify.
Right, and we do Spotify just to make it easy, and we could keep everything in one place.
Right.
If there was a better platform that we could put everybody, and everybody was down with it, Spotify is just the central spot. No matter what, everybody knows it. Everybody knows to go there. It's easier to put the music to upload. So it's already a system. They can still do their Bandcamp, but just for the blast off, they should throw their music. They should throw their music on Spotify just for the blast off, even if they decide to take it off later on, so they can get on. Don't count on it for sales or for streams. Just put it on for those 7 or whatever days. If you window, you might want to keep it on.
That's true.
That's the format that we're using. So just so we have everybody on the same page.
So Spotify is the key for each artist.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best place. But it's a central place that everybody feels comfortable dropping their music, and they know it.
Right. And everybody has their app on their phone.
Yeah.
On their phone, and then they play it in the car.
Right.
And then they, like, somebody will save the Freestyle Blast playlist you have.
Yeah.
And
people have to know they don't have to, be subscribers to listen to the music.
Yeah.
You get some commercials, but you don't have to be a subscriber.
But at least, it's always everything that was on the blast plus everything new.
Yeah.
Just like when I give you the songs, I make sure they're on the blast. I mean, on Spotify.
Right.
And then you go from there with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have a good system. We don't want to mess up the system. Think the system was good unless something else came about and that was just a winner and everybody was moving over, then okay, I get it. But right now, just for the blast off, we'll keep it on Spotify. Just keep it
So let me ask you, Lana's like kicking butt this year. And she's been on since 2025 and rolling into this year. And this is her 9th month.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So wait a minute, June will be her. No, she won her 9th. Yeah. So I have to count. It's either she'll be doing her 9th month.
Right. Because she did the article on her 8th.
Yep. So the 9th. And did she mention to you she's got a new song coming out?
I don't think they do.
Okay. Because I know she reminded me when she got.
But they won't communicate that with me. They'll communicate that with you.
Yeah, no, that's why she hit me up. She messaged me, hey, I got another song coming out, before the 10th.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, you want to switch it? She goes, yep, want to switch it?
Yeah.
And that's what
because remember, if they don't switch it on this one, she can't switch it on the next one.
Right.
She has to take it to the end.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the cool little trade-off here. You can leave a song that's doing great for you, but is it going to do great again?
Right.
Or you can go and put this new song, hoping that it does great, but doesn't do as good as the last one. What are you going to do? You can't take it off. You got to run. You got to push it. And there's a good chance if it's not doing good, it's going to flop. You're going to be off the blast anyway.
Yeah.
So I think the system, and, we're building the system, just so people know, we build the system as we go along. We make changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see what works and what doesn't. What doesn't work, we change. We're not scared of changing things.
I was thinking too, like, if we ever had another blast where it was as close as the Sharon Massarin, April, and Lana one, once that's over, whoever wins, do a recap with them three and you and I do a recap and just talk about, you know, how they pushed it to try to get it.
Yeah, or find the ones who have won, right? So think about if we go back.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably do better than me as far I won't remember who are all the winners. Who
Oh
won
yeah.
who won in the past.
But we got the book too. Book or go on the freestyle
Yeah,
blast.
yeah.
You
Right,
know,
right. Yeah,
I
this
think
will
the
be,
book will be easier to check it.
there's just one person that wouldn't qualify
Right.
for it, you know? So
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they're welcome to come back on too and give it another shot, you know?
Right.
It might work. So I don't want that to have been that situation to have been something that stops them. That's not what we're there for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's something people they give it a shot. Hey, you tried. It didn't work.
Right.
You
So
know?
so now that you got Sharon on board,
Yeah.
and she's like, you getting a lot of calls from her.
Yeah. So Sharon right now, today we booked last night I booked her at San Antonio, Texas. Today I booked her in San Jose. She's booked another show in San Jose. She's got Los Gatos, California. She's got Georgia. She's got Anaheim, California. I have a Miami pending, and I have a Chicago pending, and possibly an Indiana
Nice.
that might work for her. Yeah. Oh, and she did Texas already. I had her in Fort Worth, Dallas. The San Antonio. She's supposed to have El Paso October 24th, but they're moving that whole date. So I had
Oh, okay.
a whole lineup for that, the Speaking Rock, but they're gonna move the whole date. So she's already on the lineup. So as soon as they give me a new date, I'll put that lineup together. But she's making moves, and you know what? Honestly, the money's pretty good. She's doing
Oh,
well. She's done. Yeah, trust me, she's doing. Bro, I'm very particular with the people I put on board.
yeah.
Not for nothing, not because I love them all and I know all these acts. I've known them for most of my career, but it's a lot of work. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work for me. So when I'm going and I'm booking an act, it has to be worth it to me. You know, right
Right.
now with Law Entertainment, we have 10 exclusive acts.
Right.
So we have, of course, Little Susie, Cover Girls, Angel Solo, Shannon, Shauna,
You did mention
April,
one
April.
Sal.
Well, SAL with Susie Angel is there, but that's what Susie's doing, and we put that to sleep for a little while. It's only
Yeah.
on hiatus, right? Because Susie's on a break. I don't even count that on my exclusive roster. Everybody knows I ran that for 10 years. But who else do I have? I have Freestyle. I have Full Force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
I have Jennifer from Laissez Faire.
Okay.
Okay. And the new addition that I just put on was Deneen.
Okay.
I just put Deneen on. Now I've known Deneen, God, many years, right? Because she was on I think she was on Tasmania back in the days, right? So I
Yeah.
was on Metropolitan. So we ran that, we distribute that label. And I used to be on the road with her. So we do a lot of shows with her, Collage, Susie, and so on.
Yeah.
So she's been wanting to get down for it. And the one that's been really pushing her, and people have no idea, is my wife. My wife's a huge fan of these artists.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that gets on me. She's like, you got to put it on. You got to do this. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of work. I have a lot of people looking at me like, hey, so my job is to keep everybody working.
That's it.
Oh, and I have Naija, of course.
Yeah.
So not too many guys. It's really mostly the women,
Right.
but they're all good. And what I'm trying to say is that, like, where Sharon is, she's on board with a good stable of acts,
Mm-hmm.
and she's getting paid, and she's being accommodated. And working with me, she's being respected and she's being taken care of. You know what I'm saying? We make sure that they're good. We make sure, I deal with I got good promoters. I'm fortunate. I don't work with everybody. So when they bring any of my acts on, they take good care of them.
Yeah.
And this could be possible for so many people. With or without me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm saying, they could do that level of hustle,
Yeah.
but they could do their thing.
Yeah. You ever thought about you promoting your own like concert with your roster?
You know what? I don't need to take that kind of risk, is what it is. Like I could put like, so if you look at the El Paso we did last week or a couple weeks ago, that's pretty much all my acts.
All on one show.
So I put a lot of my acts, and to be honest, I don't have to take the risk that the promoters take a lot of risk. I don't have to take that risk financially.
Right. Yeah.
But I could put a concert together. I could just give it to one of the promoters, and they'll promote it. And they'll make their money at the door, whatever it is that they do. I'm an agent manager. I make a percentage out. Whatever the artists make is what I make. I make money from them. So my money doesn't rely on ticket sales. Promoters do. So promoters are up against. I get asked all the time, "Hey, you got all the acts, so let's do a partnership." I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. Why should I want to do that?
Yeah.
They make a lot more money though. They could kill it, but they could also take a serious hit.
Right. And they gotta, promote it.
Yeah, you think there's a lot. There's a lot entail. I'm the first one that sees these shows coming together, and they called me for the acts, and it's people don't realize once they lock in the act, they're paying the act fee. They got to fly them out most of the time. They got to put them in hotels, and these artists don't travel by themselves.
Right.
Even if they're solo acts, they have at least a road manager.
Okay.
So no matter what, the travel expenses are double. And some of those flights, if you look at, we do a lot of California and Texas. Those flights are starting at like $800 to $1,000. So you're talking about, but per person. So so you're talking about almost $2,000 to bring an act in. So so that's expensive. And then promoting the show, and then doing the production. So getting the stage, hiring the DJ to come in, getting your lighting going, the security, if you're renting a place, security, set up, just to turn on the lights in the venue costs money, and then to go in and promote. How are you promoting? So if you look at the El Paso, you see they did billboards. And billboards are not cheap, like $60,000, $40,000. So they do the billboards, and then they go online, they do the social media, right?
Right.
All in hopes that people come in. They don't come in, the artists are paid no matter what. Unless they cancel the show before we even fly out. Other than that, they have to pay. So they're out of that fee as well.
Yeah. So let me see. So like for the next issue, and what would you say to somebody who's about to be on the blast off for the next issue? Like, what is your advice to them?
I think anybody that even is thinking about somehow, some way trying to get on the blast, I think they should already figure out their 7-day strategy.
Right.
And I think they should really, it's only 7 days. It's like going on a 7-day fast, right? You don't have to fast forever. 7 days, right? I think they should put together a 7-day strategy. It's all free. It's on social media. I think they should hit all the platforms. I think all the platforms don't do a video and then post it on all the different platforms. That's okay. But do a different video that works for that particular platform. Make sure the size is correct. Make it look like it was made organically for that particular platform.
Right.
Make a list of all the different things that, they can play their songs. They could do like Sharon did, do a live performance. They can talk about the production. They can show pictures behind the scenes, past performances. You gotta really, what do you like? Really, really connect with the audience for these 7 days, and then figure out what the limit is as far as with your DMs, and start to DM them. Let people know, or even before that, you let them know, as you're going through your 7 days. If let's say I don't know what the limit is, it might be like 10 a day. You don't get booted from Facebook. We're not responsible. But go in and ask for the vote. Ask for the vote. Go in and let people know that they can only vote once. Because I get people that come to me, oh yeah, I've been trying to vote. I can tell you're trying to vote more than once. It didn't work. It worked. There's a big system. You're not gonna break it.
My favorite promo for the Blast was with Lana and Julie. They did the Rocky theme. They were both like
Oh yeah,
boxing.
yes.
That was like
You
so
see
cool.
people do creative stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know,
but those two got to work. They worked together at it, just just to promote
I
each
know,
other's.
and that was smart. And that was
Yeah,
smart. That was great. And the managers should step up. If they have managers, the managers should come up, talk to you, maybe talk to me, come up with some ideas.
yeah,
I'm here. I'm always open. I want to see them do well. You know,
yeah.
go in there, get and try to get those fans. This could really pay off. And not only that, once it's over, don't stop. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, because it's more fun to watch how they're doing every day.
Yeah.
Well, at least me and you know.
Right. Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, but it's just fun to watch it because you can see who's hustling and
Yep.
who's not. Then I would have to like DM them, say, listen, you gotta catch up, man. Bust out them votes. Get your
Yeah.
coworkers, get your friends, your family member, your uncle
Yeah.
you don't talk to, this and
It's,
that, you know.
it's not easy. It's good. It's a hustle. It's not easy. And it could be discouraging when you're doing all this and all you're getting is 7 likes.
Yeah.
It can. But sometimes people don't engage, but they still remember you and they still know you, and
Yeah.
you got to get past the numbers. I post a lot. I don't get a
Hmm.
lot of engagement. I get more views than anything. And
Hmm.
what's that telling you? Jealousy, people, haters and competition and competitors and that's fine, you know. But they have to get past that because as soon as somebody puts a record out and they got 6 likes, they abandon it. Don't abandon it. Keep pushing. Try for
Yeah.
7 likes tomorrow, and then 8 likes. Just keep on. Get into that habit. Forget about this song as far as use this as an exercise medium, as a training ground. For any song that you're gonna do. After I look at going back to the Spotify list. You look at those songs. There's a lot of good music in there.
Oh yeah, there is.
You picked all those songs. You know what each one of those songs sound like.
Yeah, and they're
Records.
good.
So what happened? What happened to them? Where they at?
They just got to get more involved, and
And,
it's
and
good, like
but
you
this
said.
is
Like,
why the genre is still considered old school. People say, "Oh yeah, that old music, that old freestyle." Well, it shouldn't be old. We got a lot of releases that come out.
mhm.
Why is it old? Why are we still considered old? Why, when we do these concerts, promoters are telling me, Latif, please let the artists know no new music, only the hits.
Right.
Why are the promoters telling me this? They're not seeing the value. They're not seeing the value in these songs. However, some of these songs are better than some of the classics that are out now.
Yeah, that is true. I've seen that a lot. I've seen that.
The quality's better. They have more. Remember, a lot of artists don't have videos. Got a
Hmm.
handful that have videos.
Right.
So now you could do your video, right?
Yep.
So
And
there's a lot of tools at our disposal now that we didn't have before. But it also takes a lot of sweat. People are not willing to put in that work.
all right. Well, listen. Explain to everybody what they need to do when the blast comes out. The blast off comes out. Them as a fan, or even the artists themselves, issue comes out. They get that notification. What do you encourage them
Man,
to do?
listen, the Freestyle Blast comes out on the 15th of every month. We're in year number 5, right? We're going to what, issue 53?
No, 54.
We're going to
The
54.
next one is 54. We just did 53. Right now
Okay,
it's 53.
right, okay, so 54, which is basically already written. I'm almost done with it already, right?
Hmm.
Now I'll be editing it between now and the time we release. Now, these newsletters, I keep them short, right? What they take less than 10 minutes to read, really, to read it
Yep.
from beginning to end, right? Less than 10 minutes. There's always a time to play, but there's a lot of gems in there. It's my experience. I'm not sitting there trying to teach anybody there. I'm just telling from my observation, things that I've done. And people have to understand my position where I stand. Okay. I'm an agent. I'm also a manager, which means I kind of play both sides.
Yeah.
Right? A little bit of a conflict of interest, but it's freestyle. It's fine. Okay.
Hmm.
My job as an agent is I'm the guy between the artists and the promoters. Promoters call me, hey, I want to put on a concert. Who do you got? I have what market, right? So there's a lot of things that I teach and I talk about. And I put this experience out. So if you're a fan of freestyle, if you're in the business, if you're an artist, if you want to be an artist, producer, anybody, even if you're doing hip hop, there's a lot of the stuff is, it's parallel, take your time. It comes out on the 15th. Take that time on your phone, your tablet, your computer, sit down and just read it. There's usually 2 articles in there. The first story, second story. Then the rest of the stuff is, whatever, fun stuff, as well as the blast flash, right?
Right.
Once they get to it, you're going to get to the bottom. That's where you're going to see the people on the flash. And now it's called the Freestyle Blast Off, right? You're going to go there. There's one link connected to it. It takes you right to Spotify. From there, the top 3 songs are those 3 songs. You sit there and just listen to them. I say give them all a fair listen.
Right.
If you don't feel like you're feeling it, you can't hear it all the way through, that's fine. But at least play it. Hear the beginning, because it only takes 10 seconds to know if you're going to like a song. Really.
Right.
Once you're done with that, don't leave. Pick a song. Find that one that feels right. But keep in mind that you only get one chance. You can't go, I clicked the wrong one. You can't. It's already done. Right? Go in there, cast your vote. And when you go on, sometimes leave a comment. If there's an article in there that kind of moves you, I have comment buttons there. Hit a comment. I like to hear this, man. I do a ton of writing. I love it when people write, hey, the thank yous are great. I appreciate all the thank yous. But if there's something you want to add or something you want to ask regarding what I wrote, ask it, because I love to answer it. Because sometimes I don't know if people are really catching what I'm trying to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
But then I get those that do, that they'll hit me on a DM. A lot of you guys hit me on DMs, and I appreciate that. And I know, but it will mean so much more to me, unless it's personal, if you would respond or message me out in the open, so other people can see it. Other people feel, like it's okay for them to write.
Yeah.
And there's no dumb questions. I'm open. I go in there thinking that people don't know much of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to really break it down, but there's a lot of good information in there, definitely read it. And if you could share it, I appreciate the share,
Yeah. So just right before we end, so you were interviewed by Rami P on his show.
Yeah.
And then he was on this show on the last episode. Did you get to watch that one?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
That he's a fun dude, man. He can talk just like you, man. Just like run, talk.
I give him little gaps though. He wasn't giving any gap, but he's good. He's a good interviewer too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I had fun doing that interview. Yeah. And
did you listen to the interview he did with me?
I didn't see it yet because I know you were live when you did it. And I think I saw it on you have it on your page?
Whenever I do them, I always upload them on my page. I also put them on my YouTube, so I save them. I like to
because I'm going to have to check it. But I know the day you were live, it was, I think I was in bed already. I was just like...
Yeah, that's like me. A lot of times I watch yours. I watch them when my day is over. You know? So
which is cool. But yeah, so I do want to get more other people, fans, just to get their input on it.
Absolutely.
And Rami was perfect for it.
Yeah.
And
listen, you're doing a good job, man. Even Angel said he's getting really good at this. I said he is.
Because I know, like with Rami, we were talking, and I asked him the question. I asked them all. I said, "So, what do you think about the newsletter?" We have one person who we knew they didn't read it.
Right.
But Rami, he was like,
yeah, he knew it.
I can't get in a word. I was just like listening. It was just like good stuff. And I know he mentioned, he would help promote when the next blast off comes out.
Yeah. It's important. It is important to encourage the blast is free.
Right.
It's free, and then at the end of the year, it turns into a yearbook. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that I put into them, but there's a reason for it. I am truly, honestly trying to educate with what I know. I'm never going to claim to know it all, but I'm always willing to share what I know, because the more people that we could get involved, the more we could do with the genre. This is all I do, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's
I
freestyle.
don't have a real job. This is it. What you see is what you get. I need this shit to keep going. You know?
Freestyle is alive. Everybody's still loving it. Even you know, you throw the classics in, but then you throw in the new ones. Because like this past Monday, I was doing my Latin Monday show, and it was Memorial Day. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna throw in a 45-minute mix. I did the 45-minute set with old stuff and new stuff. I was just like blending them all in, so they can both, you know.
Yep.
Which is
you guys do, all the DJs, man. Really, we have some good DJs in our genre. I know a lot of them. I know all over the country. You know, so I have a lot of respect for them. You know, there's some of my favorite people. When I go around, when I travel, they always come up to me, and I'm always, you know, so I know a lot of them. You know, so they're very cool. You know, and we try to do drops for them if we can. You know, sometimes we're on the road, but you know, but yeah, you know, we really appreciate it. You know, we try to show that. We try to show, you know, how much we appreciate. And I try to be some sort of example to let people know that there's a lot of opportunities still doing this. If I didn't, I wouldn't be wasting my time.
Right.
And the thing is, it doesn't affect me. There's no competition. You can't compete with me. If you're an artist and you do really well, you actually work for me. It works for me. I can book you. And the only way I make money with these artists is by booking them. So my incentive is to get shows. And the more artists I could get shows for, it benefits me in the long run. So I have a really great, so my incentive, my motive helps these artists, you know? Once these artists start to die off and we're getting older, it's gonna get hard.
Right.
You know? We just lost Rob Bass.
Right. Yeah.
Rob was my boy. I booked Rob many, many, many times.
Yeah.
You know? And it's scary when we start seeing that. You know, we start seeing you know, some of these artists that are dropping off, and it's sad and it's scary, and we're getting older. And now we have to start thinking about the future. If the legacy and the work that we've put in means anything, we want it to pass on. And it's not going to pass on if there's nobody to pass it on to.
Right.
So that's what keeps me going.
That's great. All right. Well, listen, thanks once again for another wonderful show. And
yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Great job as always. Appreciate you.
Thank you. So I got my one.
People don't understand how much work you do. People know. You do a lot of work. Hey.
So I'm like, I got the one. Then the other one.
But you still got time. You still got a little time.
No, yeah, I said, but it's kind of hard because I'm trying to for those who are listening, I'm looking for somebody who really wants to push their song. Push it. Be excited about it, you know? So
how do people reach out to you when you're going to put it on? Do you just pick randomly, or do people?
No, I so far, I just think someone did, but then when I was about to, I think I even gave you the name, but I had a backup, you know, just in case, and they had to back out.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they had to back out. I said, okay. So I still
so if somebody wants to submit, what do? They just
all they got to do is listen. They can hit me up on you're better off hitting me up on my Instagram, DJ WonderRican. That's the one I'm more active. Facebook, I'm not. TikTok, but Instagram, because you know that's where I find like a lot of the artists, independent artists for Latin music and like reggaeton and all that stuff. And I get hit up, you know, with
keep in mind though, even though Instagram, you know, we're all on it, Facebook is still the hub for most of our market.
Right.
It's an older crowd. It's an older generation. A lot of people, they go into Instagram to look around, but people hang out on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where people are hanging out. So just keep that in mind. You know, when people are reaching out to you, because they might not go into excuse me. You know what that is? Universal Latin.
Oh, okay.
I hope you can see it.
No, it's too bright.
You can see it? Yeah. So they do all the reggaeton. So they're the ones who have Osuna.
Oh, yeah.
Osuna, Bad Bunny. Yeah, Bad Bunny. They have now. They're hitting me for some other acts.
Have you ever thought about adding some reggaeton?
I've done them. I was one of the first people to do Daddy Yankee back in the days. I've done Don Omar, I've done Evie Queen, I've done Osuna, I've never done Bad Bunny. And so this guy that's calling me is the main contact. So you want any of those acts, that's who you call. Right. And the reason why he's calling me now, because he called me late last night, he has a girl. And he told me about Bad Bunny before anybody even knew who he was.
Yeah.
He told me about Daddy Yankee before anybody. I remember back then, Daddy Yankee was really cheap. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I started pitching him. I didn't even know who he was. I started pitching him to some of my promoters. They were like, no, we're not interested. I swear about a couple of weeks later, they're calling me back to promoters. Hey, you still got that Daddy Yankee dude? You still got him? You know how much? I think back then he was like $8,000. Mm-hmm. Right? And I said, oh, yeah, I could get him. I said, hold on. So I called. I said, yeah, he's not doing $8,000 no more. Now he's 16. He doubled up. I'm like, so I called back. 16. Nah, that's too much. They'll call me back 2 weeks later. He's still 16. Let me check. I call back. No, he's 64. That's how his numbers were going up. Wow. And we kept on. We finally locked him in for 2 shows at $120,000 each show. I had to do a double. That's the only way he would take the show. You know? Yeah, that's how it was. I did a lot of them, but it's a lot of work. Money's good, but it's a lot of work. And then you're on edge because there was a time, I don't know about now, some of them weren't showing up. Mm-hmm. Not all of them, not trying to dog them, but there were some new ones that were coming out, weren't showing up. Yeah. So, and it was putting me in a bad predicament. So I was like, I can't do this no more. I like my freestyle people. They make it to shows. Anyway, all right, brother.
All right, man. Thank you again, guys. To the next one. Latif, thank you once again. Always. Guys, peace out and have a good one.